You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. Martin, it's always good to have you here in the studio.
It's good to be here on this very wet and cold Monday evening, but we've got some good news tonight. We're going to be talking about how the council's giving its money away. Yes, you heard right. The council giving money away. There's been a number of localism grant schemes that the council has been supporting this year. And we're going to be talking about money that's still available in the World War I commemorative grant scheme. And also that the members have got their own localism grant pots and there's money available there. A little update on the cultural and heritage grants and how that money's been allocated. And a free event, so give your money away, and a free event coming up, and we'll be talking about the Swale Heritage Forum that will be taking place at Bluetown Heritage Centre on November the 14th. So plenty to talk about, so don't go too far away from that dial.
We're going to speak a little bit more about supporting local groups and organisations.
Yeah, first of all, we're going to recap. Swale Borough Council supports World War I commemorative activity right across the borough, and last year they introduced a centenary anniversary grant scheme. We supported 30 different projects and allocated £15,000 last year, and there's £15,000 available this year too. And many people think, well, World War I, that was 2014, that was all about last year. Well, the council see it differently in the sense that it's a commemorative period right the way through from 2014 right the way through to what would have been the end of the war, 1918. So this grant money will be available every year right the way through till 2018-19. And so far this financial year, I've allocated, or through the World War I steering group, just over £5,000, which means there's 9,875, I think, counting the odd pence in there, but in other words, there's money still available. So it doesn't have to be a large project. The main thing is that it's a grant that can be paid to local groups, organisations or societies, a recognised organisation that has a bank account, so therefore we can pay the money into that. A number of the societies are now doing a number of research projects, so we've been supporting a number of them with their online ancestry whatever it is, their research, and a lot of them are now publishing the research that they might have started last year and are now putting it on display, and we can help contribute to the costs of that, or they're actually putting a book together and we can help towards the costs of that. In other words, if it is a World War I commemorative project, please contact us at the council and ask how we can help you. We have an email which is rather apt. It's firstworldwar@swale.gov.uk, or indeed you can contact me direct on 01795 417 399. So the first message of this evening is money is still available to support World War I commemorative projects, so please don't miss out. Get your application in soon.
Talking to Martin Goodhew, Project Officer, Swale Borough Council. He's updating you on lots of different things, and I think we're going to move on to heritage and culture grants next.
Yeah, this is more way of an update really. This year there was £10,000 made available for culture projects, and also £10,000 made available through grants for heritage projects. And I'm pleased to say that the council aren't sitting on that money anymore, and that the response from the heritage and cultural organisations has been very good, and already over £19,000 has been allocated, and we're looking at approximately 20 projects supported, and some of those on the island, both from the heritage and the cultural sectors, including Sheppey Matters, Blue Tower Remembered, and right across, as we have done with the World War I, right across the island to Laysdown, Warden Bay, and indeed, let's look at that. We've even got, as I said, Blue Town Remembered, we supported those as well. But the message is, as far as heritage grants, there's just over £400, so don't all rush. There's £400 left in that pot, and if you're looking for a cultural grant, I'm afraid that pot scheme is now closed. But never fear, because the members' localism grant scheme Money is still available to local groups and organisations for any kind of project, be it cultural or heritage, community safety, as long as there's a community benefit to the project. There are 47 Swale Borough councillors, and they've all been allocated at the beginning of the year £2,400 to support local projects. Now, many of the councillors like to allocate it as the year goes on, and many of them like to make small grants to keep everybody happy, but ultimately it's the members' choice. Officers support them in the process of paying and processing the grants, and the officer responsible is a young lady by the name of Brooke Butfield. Many of you may have come across before. And if you'd like to find out more about the members' localism grants, you can call Brooke directly on 01795 417 155, and she will send you the application form and advise you of the process. So there is money still available. Now, rather than spending money, I spoke earlier on about a free event, and coming up at Bluetown Heritage Centre on November the 14th, which is a Saturday, it's the second Swale Heritage Forum. And this is a meeting that's organised by the Swale Museums Group, a network of all the local museums and heritage attractions throughout Swale. And collectively they come together as a group, and this Heritage Forum is something aimed at individuals, heritage groups and societies. If you're interested in heritage and you're interested in the heritage of Swale and would like to see a vision for the 21st century taken forward, there are speakers that have been arranged. We've got speakers from Brighton Museum, the Arts Council's Museums Development Service, the Heritage Lottery Fund, Dover Museum and Arts Group, Swale CVS, and the best thing of all is a free lunch. Now, there's that. You've got a free lunch. There's a free networking buffet lunch. The event, the Heritage Forum, takes place on Saturday, November the 14th. It starts at 11:30 and goes through until 4 o'clock. It's limited in numbers to 70. So I'm helping the Heritage Forum in arrange the meeting. And the way you can book a place, you have to register online or call me. I've given you my number once again, 01795 417399. You can book a place online using the Eventbrite booking system. Just Google Eventbrite and then Swale Heritage Forum, and you should be able to find the event. But if any difficulties, please call me, and let's see you joining in and coming along to the Swale Heritage Forum.
And I think you're going to talk a little bit about the twinning of towns.
Yeah, we were just talking off air there about the fact that Sittingbourne is twinned with Ypres and the significance of Ypres in the World War One, and the fact that that's why Swale really does pay more attention perhaps than some of the other local authorities with regards to World War One commemoration. And for the last 2 years, there's been a civic journey of commemoration on Armistice Day on November the 11th. From Sittingbourne, a coach has left with the mayor, and we've taken, as we term them, school ambassadors. We've taken students from each of the 9 secondary schools in Swale, and that journey will happen again this year. And Councillor Anita Walker, the Mayor of Swale this year, will take all the school ambassadors, and the aim is that we get there nice and early. We leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, nice and early morning. We arrive over in Ypres for about 9:30, God willing, and then the star point for the youngsters, or the most memorable point perhaps I should say, is that we get an invitation for the youngsters to take part in the Poppy Parade. Now the Poppy Parade goes from the Cloth Hall in Ypres, and basically the youngsters, they get with the mayor to parade through the town centre, and they're given the poppies. They get to carry little red petals, which are then handed in as the parade reaches the Menin Gate. And the petals that the young students from the Swale schools have carried then go in the baskets, and during the armistice service at the Menin Gate on November the 11th, at the appropriate time, all those red petals that the youngsters have carried fall down from the roof of the Menin Gate. It's a very touching experience. The mayor takes two memorials, two wreaths. One's laid at the Menin Gate and another at the Belgian War Memorial. And then in the afternoon, the Civic Party goes to Tyncott, the war cemeteries, and this year for the first time it's going to go to Lannemark, which is one of the German cemeteries. So it becomes an educational visit in the afternoon for the teachers and the students that have joined the mayor, and the mayor also goes to those cemeteries, and this year for the first time they're both to Tyncott, the Allied Cemetery, and to Lannemark. So not only have we got the World War I grants, the Civic Office continues to honour that civic twinning, and especially on that significance of the World War I centenary period, and that journey will hopefully be repeated right the way through to 2018.
I think you next wanted to just cover the Sheerness Heritage Centre update, which of course is...
Yes, it's been a very long process, and I think many of the people involved have got some tremendous patience. As you can appreciate, the council have been working with a group called the Sheppey Promenade Group to take on the running of the former Sheerness Heritage Centre. It's been a long process, which started in earnest when the group gained its own charitable status in June. And to that date, the group has worked tremendously hard to get the building reopened, and this has been under a licence agreement with the council, while the legal representatives from both parties work out the detail of a lease. And it's been taking a bit of time, but as you can imagine, this lease everybody needs to be in agreement with, as we aim to give them a lease for 25 years. But as soon as the group gained its charitable status, the licence conditions were relaxed, and as many of you know, the Rose Street Cottage of Curiosities opened for business, shall we say, as part of the Sheppey Promenade Festival in the summer. The group, as I said, has done a tremendous amount of hard work to get the building reopened. It's obviously in the council's interest to see that heritage asset used, and somebody in there looking after it. The group's got plenty of cultural and heritage aims and aspirations, and I'm sure if anybody would like to get involved, I know that they're always looking for volunteers as they plan their future opening times. Please contact Chris Reed, and indeed their secretary, that's Janice Thornton, and I know you've had them up here, and they've had a little...
Yes, they have. It's always good to have them up here, and I've been following the progress, as well myself, so it's been good.
They've done a tremendous job, and they've got some marvellous patience, but as you say, when you talk about leases and legal representatives, these things always take a long time, but I think we're nearly there. It's just about dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But as I said, the group, during the winter months especially, will be planning what they want to do to deliver their future aspirations for 2016 onwards. So always looking for volunteers, and indeed they're looking for support in fundraising. So things that they want to do in that building, as always, there is a small grant that the council will pay for the first few years, but that will only be for a short period of time. So if anybody listening does want to get involved and can help the Sheppey Promenade Group as they reopen the Sheerness Heritage Centre as the Rose Street Cottage, that's a good mouthful, that one, Rose Street Cottage of Curiosities, please contact them. And
I know you wanted to finish by talking about Visit Swale and Visit Kent.
Yes, well, there's the day job. I mention all these projects and many of the activities, like the Armistice Day trip to Ypres that I do get involved in and help to organise, and the Swale Heritage Forum and the Swale Museums Group. They're things that come along every now and again. The day job for me is the administration of the Visit Swale website. It's our tourism support website, and it's delivered in partnership with Visit Kent. So ultimately it provides local promotion of events, things to do and accommodation across their area, Faversham, Sittingbourne, the Isle of Sheppey and surrounding areas. Everything that I upload on a daily basis to those to Visit Swale automatically gets uploaded to the destination, or the Swale destination pages of Visit Kent. So it's not just one bite of the cherry, it's two. So two lots of advertising for the price of one, shall we say. but there's no price involved because all this advertising is free. It's what the council does to try and support the tourism businesses and economy in Swale. Now, the content of Visit Swale is only as good as the information that we receive, and every quarter, this time of the year, after all the summer events have finished, I've been desperately trying to chase everybody, remind everybody that this opportunity is available. We can advertise your public events on Visit Swale, and especially as we run up to Christmas, there are so many events, like in Sheerness Town Centre, where there's going to be the Christmas market and the Lantern Parade. So there's details that I've been asking Chris Reed for, and others that are organising events on the Isle of Sheppey right the way through to Christmas and the New Year. Please let me have those details now. We do have a dedicated email address for anything relating to Visit Swale. It's tourism support, which is all one word, tourismsupport@swale.gov.uk. I mentioned accommodation. Obviously people expect to see that on a tourism site. I mentioned the events, and people expect to see those, but it's the things to do that sometimes people miss out on, and that's also gives us the ability to be able to promote our local pubs and restaurants and places to go. So, if you want to recommend, go down to your local pub and say, why aren't you on Visit Swale? Because when the people come on holiday every year and they go on our website and they try and plan their holiday and they're looking for somewhere to go for a meal or a nice evening out, let's get those sheppey pubs and venues on the Visit Swale website. It doesn't cost anything. So working with Visit Kent, great opportunities. We also work with another organisation called British Destinations, which is UK Holidays. So we also promote significant events, but also have a presence on the UK Holidays site for the Swale area, and I upload things onto British Destinations and UK Holidays. And in a couple of weeks' time, they held their annual conference, and for the last 3 years I've represented Swale and tried to fly the flag for Swale Destinations at their conference. So the more information we get from local event organisers, accommodation providers, and those things to do, attractions, the more we can shout about it. So please, once again, it's my number, 01795 417 399, and you give us a call or email tourismsupport@swale.gov.uk, and I'll send you the appropriate forms you need to fill in. And we love some marvellous images of Swale on Visit Swale as well. We also have a Visit Swale Facebook page and a Visit Swale Twitter account. So, some of those last minute event posters we can share. We can get the message out there. Let's see the people, the visitors and the residents of Swale supporting what Swale has to offer.
Martin, as always, it's been great to have you here at BRFM. Thank you very much once again for coming along.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and have a good evening.
That is Martin Goodhew, Project Officer here at the Monday Night Community Show on 95.6 BRFM this evening.